Just so that you guys know, I am going to be putting timestamps of each of the things I will be talking about in the description box below so that you can just flash forward to whatever is relevant to you or what you are interested in. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I am documenting my third pregnancy. Today is Tuesday, August 31st. I am 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant. It is a gorgeous fall day here in central Sweden. So I took the day off of work today to get a bunch of things done. We are harvesting our farm right now. It's like the early fall, so we got to take up our summer crops and get our winter garden ready. So I've got like beets and carrots currently being processed on our stove. I've got bread baking. I'm being all kinds of like Susie Homemaker right now. So I have 25 minutes to film this 4-week bump date if I actually want to have one. So that's what we're doing today. I thought I would just go over a variety of topics. So again, timestamps down below for whatever you are interested in. But the order that I plan on hitting these things is I thought I would quickly just talk about the supplements we took and our strategy for trying to conceive in this cycle that we got pregnant. I thought I would go over my 2-week wait symptoms and experience, debrief. I just want to debrief finding out I was pregnant. If you have not seen my live pregnancy test video, I will put it in the iCards up above. Suffice it to say, I was literally shocked. I was just not expecting it. And then also I just wanted to briefly recant how I told my husband that I was pregnant. And then lastly, we could talk about my 4-week symptoms. So, supplements and our TTC strategy. I'm actually not going to spend any time talking about that in this video because I have already detailed it like in great detail in 2 other videos. I will put those links to those videos down below. One was my cycle 1 update video that I uploaded like just 2 weeks ago. I think you need to skip to the 10.5-minute mark. And I will put that timestamp in the description box below. But I talk about literally the brand, the dose, and everything that my husband and I each took to try to prepare our bodies. But also, a couple months ago, I filmed this video here that I called like how to get pregnant quickly in your 30s or whatever. Everybody is different. Everybody is different, all right? I don't know actually what has helped me or not, or if my husband and we just have really high fertility and we're very compatible. I don't know. I talked about all of the things that I did to prepare my body for my 2018 pregnancy, and I tried to implement as much of that as I could when we were like rapidly deciding to TTC this child. So that is all here in this video, in case any of that is helpful to anyone. 2-week wait symptoms. I want to take just a brief minute to normalize having no 2-week wait symptoms. If you go onto YouTube and search for like any kind of 2-week wait video, your feed is going to be flush full of literally thousands of videos of women saying how I knew I was pregnant before I even got a positive pregnancy test. I feel like those search results skew reality. Because in reality, who's going to publish a video that says, I felt nothing, how I didn't know I was pregnant, or that kind of thing? It's just not content. It's not what you produce. And I think that as a woman in your 2-week wait, you want to fill that time filling your brain with all of like the hopeful things that you can be looking for. And if you feel those things, oh my gosh, it's going to like feed that energy and that excitement and the hope, you know, and you're always looking and looking and looking. But what happens if you don't feel anything? Or if what you feel is totally normal for you in that phase of your cycle, even when you're not trying to get pregnant? It's so discouraging. And this past 2-week wait, I did watch a ton of those videos. And you're talking about women who've had, like, this is their first kid, this is their 5th kid, like experienced parents, first time parents, people who weren't even trying and they like remember feeling things that just seemed off. It seems so common to like be moody or emotional, or to have super sore breasts or super sore nipples, or to feel nausea or like constipation and fatigue and all these things. It seems like everyone under the sun who's trying to conceive feels those things, so it's really hard. You're so focused on that part of your body at that part of your cycle. It's a very wild time and everyone is looking for hope. But I just want to speak to the woman right now who is like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 DPO and is not feeling anything and immediately is feeling discouraged, like they're out. They're out. Like they're not pregnant. Aunt Flo is just going to come. It's over. It's over because I'm not feeling really sore boobs. It's over because I'm not having cramping. It's over because I didn't have implantation bleeding or spotting. It's over because I don't feel nauseous. It's over because I'm not super tired. I feel like it's actually more common to not have any symptoms in the 2-week wait, even when you are pregnant, than it is to have those symptoms. If you look at this chart here, this is science, okay? This is a graph comparing your HCG levels and how they rise over time versus the incidence and severity of nausea and vomiting over the same course of time, but also just symptoms in pregnancy in general. You'll notice that up until like 6 weeks, up until 6 weeks pregnant, okay, they are so minor. And then from like 6 to 7 weeks, they skyrocket, okay? And then they like hover around there toward the end of the first trimester, and then they dip back down once the placenta takes over toward the beginning of the second trimester. Everyone is different. Everyone is gonna have a different experience. And to be honest, this is my 5th pregnancy now, and each one of mine have been different, very different in different ways. So I'm not trying to make like any sort of generalized, all-encompassing statement, but science indicates that for the general population, you're probably not going to feel much, if any, first trimester symptoms until you're already 6 weeks pregnant. So, and I have to remind myself of this too, because I had to go back and refer to my 2018 pregnancy vlogs. Like, I just watched these the other day, and thank you, past Megan. This is a message from future Megan. Thank you for logging those videos, because they have been so reassuring to me, because I feel like on social media, I'm surrounded by women talking about nausea and this and that and whatever. And I'm just like, well, I'm clearly not pregnant because I don't feel anything. So there must not be anything in my body. But I watched those videos, and yeah, I didn't start to feel any kind of symptoms until the very end of my 7th week, which would be I think I said it was somewhere around 6 weeks and 4 days, 6 weeks and 5 days was around when I started to feel hungover. And then in my 8 to 9 week video, I talked about how it really had crescendoed, and I even vomited once. Anyway, so I know for me that I'm likely not going to experience any symptoms until the general average population does, which is once I get to be about 2 months pregnant. With that said, I did talk about having some weird stabby gas type pains around 6 and 7 DPO. I also talked about how I had switched fish oil supplements, and I thought maybe that was giving me some just wind in my pipes. But that wind in my pipes situation went away by the time I got to my missed period. So I really don't know what caused it, but that did happen in my 2-week wait. Also, still technically within my 2-week wait, on 14 DPO, I did have period-like cramps. They were very mild, and they were not pulsating cramps. They were more just a crampy feeling in my abdomen and in my back. But those went away after 15 DPO. I am continuing to have dreams and night sweats. I had them all through my 2-week wait, but like I said, I get dreams, like super vivid dreams and night sweats quite frequently, just throughout every day of my cycle. Let's debrief the moment I found out that I was pregnant. If you have not seen my video, I'll put the link in the description box below. If you skip to like the 8.5 minute mark of the video, that's when you'll get to me finding out. It was pure shock. The moment that you get a positive pregnancy test, you think you are going to feel all of the emotions that you feel when your like adrenaline is turned off. You think you're going to feel joy, overwhelming relief, excitement, just pure ecstasy. A little bit of shock, and you think you might cry or you might scream with happiness, or you think about it so much that you think you know how you're going to react. But in the moment, especially if you very much were not expecting the result you get, it's just this wave of shock, disbelief, and just silence and numbness. What you guys saw was an extremely edited down version of what my real reaction was. My real reaction, like I cut out 27 minutes of me just staring into space, looking around, wondering, and like muttering to myself and just, and talking to myself and then like my mind just going blank. There was a period of like 8 minutes in that video where I was staring out because I was in the parking lot of the grocery store, but most grocery stores here in Sweden have recycling bins on the opposite end of the store, like at the very edge of the parking lot. So I was parked all the way over there by the recycling bins, and you can even hear in the very beginning a truck had come and was emptying one of these giant canisters. I'm sitting over there and I spent like 8 full minutes just I exited the world I was living in. Was not even thinking about having a pregnancy test, and I just stared there. I sat and I stared at these workers removing the recycling from the bins. I had to keep physically bringing myself into the moment because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I could not believe that my lines were so visible for being that early into my 2-week wait. I also recognized that I didn't put actual pictures of what my tests looked like in that video, so I'll put them back up here. I also posted this on the community tab. I was just so shocked that I was making errors left and right. I just wanted to get the video up so I could talk about it on my Instagram page. I totally forgot to even show anyone on YouTube what my tests look like. So here they are. I found out about 1.5 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago. And I'm still feeling that shock and disbelief and disconnectedness from this pregnancy. I'm forgetting routinely that I'm pregnant. It might be because I'm a busy mom. It might be because I don't have any physical symptoms to really draw me into it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the anxiety related to that at the end of this video. How I told my husband. So as I said in my live pregnancy test, it was Saturday morning. I needed to do grocery shopping. So I drove to the grocery store and I decided I'm just going to do these tests now. I'm away from my family. I can get some peace and quiet. And then the shock of a lifetime when I saw the positive results, I just needed to go home. I could not do grocery shopping. We live 45 minutes away from the nearest grocery store, so it was an actual committed time commitment drive to get to the grocery store. So for me to turn around and go all the way back home after being gone for a couple hours with no groceries, that was not the most effective use of gas that I've had in my lifetime. But anyway, we reuse our shopping bags. So I had shopping bags in my car already. So I pulled into my driveway and I'm okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the digital and I'm going to take that first response knockoff test, one where the line was super visible. I'm going to put them into a grocery bag and I'm going to just walk into the house and put it on the counter and be okay, I did our grocery shopping for the whole week. And I was going to wait for my husband to be the hell did you buy? This is only one bag. But unfortunately, he heard me drive into the driveway. And so, and like I was going to film the whole thing. I really wanted to capture it on camera, but it didn't go as planned. So here I am, like just whitewashed, completely shocked still and slightly emotional and everything. And he heard me drive into the driveway. And so he comes running out to me and he just knocks on my window and he goes, "The kids are out of control. Save me." And like, he saw that I didn't react. Like I didn't laugh. I didn't like be like, "Oh, quick, get into the car. Let's drive away." So he immediately knew something was up. And so I opened the car door and he goes, "You're pregnant, aren't you?" Like he just knows. He knows these things. And so I grab this grocery bag that has the 2 tests and I hand it to him. And he goes, "What's this?" And he looks into it. And then of course he sees, and he has that general reaction. He had his little man celebration of like, I don't know how men are. Men get so excited. Like they feel so proud of themselves when they like fertilize an egg, But then once that initial reaction like came and went, then he just was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe." He's like, "I cannot believe we're doing this again." Just total shock. Anyway, then at that point, I left the space of being like in denial and shocked and weepy and went into this hysteria of just, I could not stop laughing. I was like laughing so hard my cheeks hurt and I couldn't breathe, and my kids came out and they thought I was laughing because they thought I had pranked my husband by saying I was going to the grocery store but then coming home with no groceries. So my 5-year-old was just saying like, "Ha ha ha, tokig mama, du skojar med oss." She's like, she thought I was like pulling this prank on the family. And so I was just like maniacally laughing. And yeah, so that's how I told my husband. Let's wrap up this video with a discussion on my 4-week symptoms. So like I said, I turned 5 weeks in just a couple days. Close enough, right? I will say that starting around the day I had my missed period, so that's the day I started getting a little bit of cramps. I have not felt any cramps since then, at least that I could say are cramps versus just like, bodily functions doing their thing. But starting around the day of my missed period, that's when my CM, I don't like the words in that, so I'm just gonna put them at the bottom of the screen. I call it cervical fluid. It started to change. Normally in my luteal phase, I'm quite dry. I think the word is you have scant CM, but the waterworks turned on. And I have been having like abnormally much, very thin, very watery, translucent CM. And that's typical for me in pregnancy. If you have been watching this video up until now, you are in for some TMI. So if you're still watching, it's on you. Insomnia. Again, I'm an insomniac. This is not abnormal for me, but I'm needing to microdose Unisom. Like I just take these little nibbles. It's just enough to help me stay asleep when I fall asleep, or if I wake up, it helps me to just get back into sleep. Without it, I am just boing! wide awake, mind racing. Also fatigue. Most days though, I'm able to keep my fatigue at bay as long as I take that small dose of Unisom so that I get good sleep at night. But I am going to bed at 8:30 in the evening and I'm sleeping until 7 in the morning, which is like, I'm getting about 10 hours of sleep at night. And at 8:30 the next night, I am exhausted. I cannot cope with life anymore. So it's just a lot of heavy tiredness. But during the day, my energy levels are really good. Anxiety. I touched upon this earlier. I do have moments of feeling anxiety. And what's triggering it is just the fact that I don't feel pregnant. Like I don't have any physical symptoms. I am still like logically, mentally shocked, and I'm sort of in a state of disbelief. And I have this overwhelming, all-consuming feeling of this is too good to be true. This can't actually be. Something is going to happen. The carpet is going to get pulled out from underneath me. I feel like there's something in the universe that is going to come out and just rip it away from me. So like, let me know down below if you have felt this way, if you have like experienced anxiety because of the fact that you just don't feel pregnant. And so it just feels like it can't possibly be. Like, has that been you? Have you had those feelings? How did you cope with them? How did you experience them? Anytime I feel like I get so negative to the point that I don't even want to talk about my pregnancy because I'm just convinced it's not real or it's going to end for some reason, I have to physically stop myself and say, in this moment, I'm flipping the switch and I'm going to choose to celebrate the fact that for as long as I know, it's there. I am pregnant. I have positive pregnancy tests. I have an elevated basal body temperature chart, which I will put up here so you guys can see. My heart rate is still elevated, so I'm gonna celebrate that. And it all ties back into the whole 2-week wait symptoms or just early pregnancy symptoms in general. It seems like on average, people don't feel pregnant until they're like in their 2nd month. So I don't know. I don't know if this is like a normal thing to feel. But since I'm showing Fertility Friend, I'm also going to show an overlay chart. And the purple line is my current pregnancy. These are my plotted temperatures that I take every morning before I get out of bed. It just shows your base body temperature. And it's onto another chart, which is the green line, which were my daily temperatures from when I was pregnant with my son in 2018. It brought me so much reassurance to look at this chart and to see that my body temperature is tracking now the same as it did in 2018, which tells me that my progesterone levels are just normal and they're right where they should be. So I'm trying to bring in as much reassurance to myself as possible, but it has been a little bit of an anxious time for me. There has been feelings of desperation, realizing that even if I wanted to get an early ultrasound to get some sort of reassurance that I have a baby with a heartbeat in my belly, I'm still gonna have to wait a whole complete month from now until then. So, it's just, you have to have these moments of consciously deciding that I am going to just trust and have faith and just celebrate every moment for what it is. I will just say I am continuing to work out for as long as I feel good. I know that when I start getting really sick, feeling in about a month, it's gonna be hard. I'm sticking at least to walking because I love to walk. But in terms of the gym, I'm really gonna try to push through. I wanna say I can do it. I wanna say I can commit, and I'm really interested in doing that, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. So that's it for my 4-week bump dates. I think I will do a 5 and 6 week bump date in like 2 weeks. And in that time, I will have gone and gotten my thyroid checked. I do that this Friday. And then on, I think it's Tuesday, September 7th, I have my first midwife appointment. And then I will come back to talk about symptoms, and hopefully this baby continues to grow and get big and strong. And I will have lots of fun things to share. So thanks for watching, you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.